teach us what a chart is and the parts of it and what they're doing? And okay.
Yes. So first, yes, I'm going to go.
So make it educational.
Yes.
All right.
So the first part, we're going to go through a chart because it looks Chinese, right? And we're going to go through so everybody should be able to understand and read. So everybody's capable of reading their own chart. Okay. So that would be step one. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to break down exactly how the different parts work. And then we're going to get into your specific chart, the different building. Okay. So if we can put the birth chart up on the screen.
Okay.
Okay. So like I said, so for most people, they look at this and it just looks Chinese. What is a bunch of symbols? Right. I have no idea what any of this means. It's very confusing. So in a couple of minutes, everything's going to make sense. Okay. So let's start with, if you look in this chart, in the inner circle, there are numbers 1 through 12.
Oh, I could guess what the 1 through 12 is.
Okay.
The 12 months, 12 zodiac signs.
Okay.
Is that right?
Almost.
No. Okay. What is it?
So these are the houses in astrology.
Now, I've heard that term.
Yes. Yes. So here's the thing. Astrology has incredible amounts of information and can be very overwhelming. So I'm going to try.
I'm overwhelmed already.
Yes. So I'm going to try to not talk about every single thing, but rather focus on the most important.
Okay. 12 houses.
Yes. The only reason I bring up the houses is because that's the way how we're going to point to where to look at the chart. So if you look at number 10, if I say the 10th house.
What happens when the moon is in the 7th house? Okay. At any rate, the 12 houses.
Yes. So we're going to look at house number 10, right? So if you look up in the circle, look at number 10, you'll see like a box with number 10 in it.
Yes.
And there's 4 planets in there, right? There's 4 symbols in there.
Those 4 symbols are 4 planets. Okay.
Yes.
And there's 7 total planets we mentioned before.
No. So the 7 primary planets that were discovered up until 1781.
Okay.
1781, we discovered Uranus. In 1844, we discovered Neptune. In 1930, we discovered Pluto. And then in 1977, we discovered Chiron, which most people never heard of. It's a planetoid. It's not considered a planet, but it's still part of astrology. So we use the 7 plus these 4.
Okay.
So there's 11 planets that we're going to be focusing on.
Okay.
Right?
So I'm looking in the 10th house right now.
So
and I see 4 planets.
Yes, the 4 planets. So if you look at the 3rd planet, the one that's a round circle and a dot.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So now the question is, you don't have to memorize. How are you going to know what each thing means?
Can you zoom in, Yisrael? Oh, perfect. Zoom into that round circle with the dot in the middle of it. Okay.
Right there. Right.
What is that?
So that is the sun. But
it's the sun.
Yes. But in order to know what it is, we're going to have to zoom back out because I want to show how to know what that is. You don't have to memorize what each of the planets. You have to be able to see the whole chart. Now I need the right side of the chart, right? If you look, there are 4 boxes on the right side. The 3rd box from the top, you see that it says Moon, Sun, Mercury.
3rd box, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Moon, Sun, Mercury.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So over there, it shows you every symbol for every planet the name of the planet right next to it.
Right. That's
so
key.
So now all of a sudden, when you're looking at the circle, you don't like, oh, what are all these things? I just look at this box and it tells you exactly what planet. So that round circle with the sun, with the dot, you see right there, it's the sun.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So that's number 1, how you know what the planets are.
Got it.
Now let's go back to the 10th house.
Okay.
And let's talk about the sun. There's a
zoom in on the 10th house.
Now you can zoom in on the 10th house. Okay. There's a number right underneath the sun that says 20. We're going to talk about 20
degrees. It looks like it says 20 degrees.
Yes, and we're going to talk about that in a second.
Okay.
Right underneath that, there's a symbol.
It looks like a Roman numeral 2.
Yes.
But it's not.
It's not.
Hold on. I'm going to use the chart.
Yes.
And I was going to guess that it's Gemini because 2, the Gemini.
Right. So zoom out in the chart, zoom back out.
Or go to the right side
Go to the right side. And the 2nd box from the top shows you it's a symbol of the zodiac signs. And you have there all the symbols. So if you look.
Yeah, zoom in on that. Yeah. Zoom in on.
So if you look there, you see that Roman numeral is the symbol for Gemini.
Right, the 2. Gemini is the twins.
Yes. So that's what, yes.
Called Ta'imim.
Yes, it is twins, and that's why that's the symbol of 2. So now, when you go back to the main chart, you see all the planets. You now can look at the 3rd box and know what that is. And each planet underneath it will have a zodiac sign, a symbol, and again, you can look at the 2nd box to see exactly what the zodiac symbol is.
So I'm looking in the 10th house and I see the sun, 20 degrees, Gemini, and 23 minutes.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. That's good.
Okay.
Keep it there, right?
Okay.
So every zodiac sign has 30 degrees. It starts from 0, 0, and it goes up to 30, or technically 29, 59.
Okay.
And then it changes to 0 of the next sign.
Right. Okay.
So when you were born, this gives us a precise location of where your sun, it's not just it's in Gemini, it's at 20 degrees of Gemini.
Okay.
It gives us a very specific. And if you look at, and the number underneath it, you see 23.
Is this geographically specific? You needed to know my birthplace.
Yes.
Okay.
It is. Yeah.
So in my place of birth, at not only on that day, but at that time.
Exact time when you were born, yes, the sun was exactly 20 degrees.
Okay.
And then that little thing, that 23 at the bottom, is its minutes and seconds. So it's 20 degrees and 23 seconds. When that 23 turns to 59, it would then turn to 21 degrees. So it's just not so important, but it gives us a very precise location. And we'll see soon why it's necessary to see precisely.
Okay.
So now when you look at this chart, this inner circle, you know exactly what each planet is by looking at the box, by seeing what the symbol is. You know what zodiac sign it's in, and you also can see exactly what degrees it is.
Okay.
So that's part 1 of understanding this chart. Then there's part 2, and after part 2, you fully can read a chart. We're going to get into the meaning, what everything means. Right now, we're just focusing to see how it works.
Okay.
So if we look at the top box, on the right side, where it says conjunction, opposition, right?
Yep.
So these are what's called...
Top right corner.
These are what's called aspects. And aspects are how planets connect to each other and therefore influence each other.
Okay.
So let's start with the first one.
They're like relationships between planets?
Yes, and therefore strongly influencing each other. Yes.
Okay.
So we're not just our sun. Everything is flavored by something.
Okay.
And we're going to see which planets are flavoring that.
Okay.
And the connection, the way they connected is called aspects. So the first one is called a conjunction. A conjunction means that the two planets are next to each other and therefore blending their energies. So let's see if we can find a nice conjunction in your chart.
It's that little lollipop symbol.
Yes, the lollipop symbol. Okay, so let's look at the 10th house.
Okay.
And we'll look at if you want, you can zoom in there. Right. So if you see the first planet, the one that purple that has like antennas on it, that's Mercury. That's communication and thinking. And that's at 12 degrees of Cancer. Okay. And then if you look right on top of it is Saturn, the brown planet, that's Saturn.
Yeah.
And that's at 5 degrees of Cancer.
Yeah.
So Saturn, so here's the thing, there's something called an orb, which is as long as it's within 10 degrees of each other, it's still considered an aspect. So from 5 to 12 is 7 degrees difference. And that's a conjunction, which means they're next to each other, which means the energy of Saturn.
They're like overlapping.
Yes. So the energy of Saturn is influencing
both
your
directions?
Mercury. Yes, but there's one more than another. We'll see in a second why.
Okay.
And right now, I just want to show you the connection. We'll go into great detail what this means for you in your life. Okay. But that's how we know. So if I look at this Mercury, I see it has the energy of Saturn blending with it and influencing it strongly. So your communication and thinking is going to have the energy of Saturn. And we're going to talk about
whatever that means.
Yes, whatever that means. We'll find out soon what that means. But I just want to show you how they're connecting.
Okay.
So that's a conjunction.
Okay.
Let's see. Then there's an opposition, which you don't seem to have any.
I don't have any oppositions.
We'll skip that for a second. Let's talk about the square. That's going to be really important.
Square.
The square is a 90-degree angle. It's like the corner of a box.
Okay.
And that's how the energy of how planets are connecting. And let's see. Oh, this is my favorite square in your chart. I love this one.
Okay, which one?
So if you look up in the 10th house, you have the sun at 20 degrees, right? If you drew a line down from the sun in the 10th house, down to like the middle of the circle, and then make a right to the 7th house.
Make like a 90-degree
turn. 90-degree angle, right? It's connecting with Jupiter. See that gray 4?
Yeah.
That's Jupiter, which is at 1648, almost 17 degrees.
Okay. So my sun in the 10th house and my Jupiter in the 7th
are connecting, are
at a 90-degree
Yes, which means the energy of Jupiter is strongly influencing your sun. And that's a huge part of your personality.
Okay.
Yes.
When they hit each other at that 90-degree angle, I mean, what does that represent?
So that's how they influence each other. That's the system of astrology. This is the Ibn Ezra wrote about this 1,000 years ago. He writes about these aspects. Ptolemy wrote about it 2,000 years ago. This is the formula.
To make it simple.
Yes.
All right. Two signs are next to, they're called signs. What are the two
planets?
Two planets are next to each other, and that's a conjunction.
Yes.
Okay. But then they're at a 90-degree angle. But in the sky, physically, they're at a 90.
Yes, they're a 90-degree angle, and therefore they're influencing each other.
Close to each other. That's a conjunction. That's one kind of influence.
Yes.
If they're at a 90-degree angle from each other,
that's
another influence.
Yes, and also if they're opposite each other.
In simple layman's terms.
Yes.
What's the difference?
In simple layman's terms, there's really not much of a difference. If you get into very specifics, there can be some differences, but it's not important. For the most
but all of these
it means that
relationships,
one planet is strongly influeing the other.
Okay.
That's the
so
big takeaway from it.
90-degree angles,
or opposition, 180-degree angles. Also,
okay.
Yes,
and what's the trine?
Oh, okay. So those three, the conjunction, opposition, and square, those are called hard or strong aspects. Why? Because it's like they're shouting at each other. They're very noticeable. So you're going to notice
straight lines.
Energy.
Yeah.
Yes. So you're going to notice the energy of those planets in your personality.
Conflict.
And not just that. No. People who know you are going to be able to see the energy of the planet that's connecting because it's so strongly affecting your personality. So people will be able to see Jupiter in your, everybody knows
that'll be
you.
obvious.
Yes.
Right.
And Jupiter is all about enthusiasm.
Then there's other aspects of me that people won't know about unless they know me really well.
Then there's something called a subtle or soft aspect. That's the trine and the sextile. Those are the other two. There's one more, the quincunx, that's a minor, ignore it. I'm not looking. There's one in blue. Trine is a 120-degree angle, and sextile is a 60-degree angle. So this is
Those
still
are softer.
It's still affecting you. Think of it like they're whispering to each other. With the other ones are shouting at each other. This is whispering. So you'll feel it, but maybe other people won't see it within
like
you.
something that's opposition, that's coming right at each other.
It's a strong energy,
Then
yes.
there's a more oblique.
It's a flowing energy. Trines tend to be flowing energies.
That makes sense. Okay. So you're imagining all of these planets representing pathways of energy.
Yes.
And some pathways are hitting each other.
Yes.
And some pathways are doing a T-bone intersection. And some pathways are kind of like flowing next to each other.
Yes. And then you can have a bunch of planets T-boning, a bunch of planets. And there's all kinds of unique configurations. That's what makes us so unique. That's why there's 8 billion people on the planet and everybody's unique. It's the same thing. It's the same way everybody has 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. But we're all individual. Everybody looks different, right? Because everybody. So we all have the same planets, but we all have unique configurations that makes our personality so unique.
So the first thing that's very clear to me is when we go around saying, oh, I'm a Gemini, that's really oversimplified.
Yes. Completely oversimplified. It's true. It's part of your sun, and we'll talk about that. But there's way more information. Like I said, tip of the iceberg. Okay, so that's the basics. And then just, if you look at there's a little cheat sheet. How are you going to know what's connecting with what's opposite, what's squaring, what's conjuncting? So if you look at the lower left corner, there's a triangle grid.
Okay.
And in this triangle grid, it tells you everything. So if you look at the top, you'll see the top of the triangle grid, you see there's a moon.
Yeah.
If you go one step down to your right is the sun.
Yep, I see it.
Right? Now, if you count directly under the sun, count 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes.
Yeah.
What do you see?
I see a square.
You see the square with which planet? With Jupiter. Right?
You showed me that.
Right.
Oh, so this is the representation of that. Okay, fine.
So what's in the chart, you can look here and it'll tell you exactly what's squaring what's conjunct. And again, if you forget the symbols, just look at the top right corner. It tells you the symbol for conjunction, opposition, trine, and square.
Okay.
So you can see everything. So everything is here listed. You can see your entire chart, how many squares you have, how many oppositions you have. And just one final piece of information. If you look under that square between Sun and Jupiter, you see it says 3S35, right? In that triangle grid.
Hold on, I'm lost. Where are we looking?
In the triangle grid, in the lower left corner,
yes.
We had the moon, and afterwards a step down is the sun.
Yes.
Right? 3 boxes down, we see the square with Jupiter.
Yes.
In that box, there's numbers underneath.
Oh, yes.
It says 3S35.
Yes.
So the letter, it'll always be...
Can you zoom in on that, Yisrael? 3S35? Yeah, a little bit more. Okay, so don't. Okay.
Yeah, so you can just highlight. Right. So by Jupiter, you see between Sun and Jupiter, you see a red square. Okay. And underneath is a number 3S35. So the S, the letter will always say S or A, which means separating or approaching. Not important. Ignore it.
Okay.
Right. However, the number, it's telling you it's 3 degrees. The square, the distance, the orb is 3 degrees and 35 seconds. Okay. Right. So if you go back to the chart, if you look, the sun is at 20 degrees and 23 seconds. Okay. And Jupiter is at 16 degrees and 48 seconds. Okay. That's a difference of 3 degrees and 35 seconds between 20 to 16. It's just telling you how close or how far apart it is. That's
close.
Yeah, that's very close. Anything under 10 degrees is strong. Anything under 5 degrees is strong. The closer it is, the stronger it is also.
Okay.
So again, it just gives you a precise location. So the whole chart, we can see exactly the planets, the zodiac sign, the degrees, what's squaring what, what's opposing what, everything's listed. So this chart is no longer Chinese.
Okay.
Now, we don't know what it all means. That's what we're going to
Right.
get into, but at least we know how to read the chart.